Great news to all middle-class people. There is a very serious issue that has been crushing and destroying the lives of the middle-class people all across the world, and that issue is now being addressed. Middle-class people are struggling financially each and every single day, and it is only getting worse. We are living in a world where some people are so wealthy, and possess such massive amounts of money to a degree, that they and their families don't have to work for generations after generations, and live the most opulent, luxurious, and phenomenal lives one could ever imagine, while the middle and poor class families sacrifice all of their dreams and desires, and struggle each and every single day just to make ends meet. It seems like if you are not born wealthy, your life is destined to be filled with struggles, hardships, sacrifices, and fear. There is an extreme level of inequality going on in our world around money today, and nobody is noticing it. The way that our world is right now, only those people with massive amounts of money are able to live the most phenomenal lives, have access to 100% organic food, live in the most comfortable and luxurious houses, have access to high-quality drinking water, get high-level medical treatments, travel first class, stay at top-notch luxury hotels, and be able to go wherever they want to go in this world, etc. But what about the rest of the people who are not rich? Needless to say, not everyone can become a bodybuilder, not everyone can become a musician, not everyone can become a scientist, and in the same way, not everyone can become rich. Therefore, do people have to struggle each and every single day, in every area of their life, just because they are not rich? Do people have to sell their soul, and work tirelessly each and every single day for the rest of their lives, just because they are not rich? Do people have to constantly live out of fear of survival, worry about paying bills, loans, mortgages, and struggle for the rest of their lives just because they are not rich? Do people have to go through depression, stress, pain, and hardships just because they are not rich? It says a lot about to what degree people are experiencing a very tough life, when you look at the fact that most people can't even take a break from everything they are doing just for a week, and peacefully take a vacation to relax and breathe, because they simply do not have enough money. They are constantly struggling, and working tirelessly every single day just to make ends meet. Before we reveal how we can go about fixing this global issue once and for all, think about the following. We are currently living in a world where each nation's development is determined by the economic growth of a country. Remember the term economic growth. This thing called economy revolves around money. The primary objective of every nation is to increase its economic growth. It is to generate more and more money. Generating more and more money is the ultimate objective of the governments of every nation above everything else. When generating more and more money is the primary objective of the governments above everything else, they will do whatever it takes, whatever it takes, to gain more and more money, and at the same time eliminate and get rid of anything that prevents them from generating more money. They would go to an extent where they cut people off from having access to something that is so natural and free like water, put a price tag on it, and sell it back to people in order to generate more money and increase its economic growth. The governments will even go to an extent where they kill remarkable healers who discovered natural healing methods for completely curing horrendous diseases such as cancer, diabetes, AIDS, etc. You might be wondering, why would any government kill such great healers who are helping people get completely cured from these terrible diseases? The answer is, there is no money to be made from the cure. The governments can't make money by curing people. The governments can't make money by allowing people to be vibrant and healthy. They can only make money by keeping people sick. They make money by suppressing natural cures and having people hooked onto pharmaceutical drugs for the rest of their lives. The healthcare industry alone is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Therefore, if natural cures come out, it would completely wipe out this multi-trillion-dollar industry. People would stop buying medicines and stop visiting hospitals altogether if they got completely cured. And this prevents governments from making more and more money off of you. And since money is the primary objective of the governments above everything else, they will kill individuals who prevent governments from making more money. Do you also know the fact that the government and its agencies allow the food and health industries to put harmful toxic chemicals into the food we eat, into the water we drink and take showers with, and also in the vaccines we get, so as to cause people to become obese, sick, and unhealthy? And once people become obese, sick, and unhealthy, the fitness industry and the healthcare industry steps in and sell you their weight loss programs, diet plans, supplements, medical treatments, and get you hooked onto pharmaceutical drugs for the rest of your life. Many people scratch their head, not being able to figure out what's really causing them dandruff, headaches, ulcers, irritation, anxiety, obesity, allergies, and other serious medical conditions. These harmful toxic chemicals are the reason. The governments commit and allow such evil practices to take place just to make more money off of you, and to increase its economic growth. Such evil practices have been taking place virtually in every single industry. That being said, do you know that there are some great inventors who invented incredible technologies like free energy technology, a technology that can provide free electricity to every single household all across the world? With the use of this free energy technology, you no longer need to pay a single penny towards electricity consumption. There are also other inventors who invented a water-powered car. A water-powered car is a car that requires only water for you to run it. You no longer need gasoline anymore in order to run a car. All of these inventors were either bribed, threatened, and in many cases, got killed by the government. Are you wondering why government kills such great inventors? The answer is, there is no money to be made from providing people with free energy. And there is no money to be made if people stopped buying gas and ran their cars using just water. The governments would lose hundreds of billions of dollars if these technologies got out to the public. And since money is the primary objective of the governments above everything else, they will kill individuals who prevent them from making more money. The bottom line is, when money is the primary objective of the governments above everything else, and when a nation's development is determined by how much money it is making, people's freedom, happiness, health, growth and development will get completely neglected. This is the place our world is in today. For example, America is considered as one of the top nations in the world because it holds so much more wealth than any other nation. But do you also know the fact that America is also a nation with the highest percentage of people dealing with poor health, stress, and depression? Americans are suffering with ulcers, depression, high blood pressure, anxiety, stress, cancer, and obesity at record levels. This goes on to prove the fact that when money is the primary objective to the governments above everything else, the well-being of people gets completely neglected and becomes non-existent. This is the place our world is in today. Next time when you hear any politician talk about the economy and jobs, know that they are not talking about your happiness and your well-being. They are talking about money. When you hear them say our economy is booming, know that it is time to get concerned because our economy booms at the expense of people's freedom, happiness, health, and well-being. The governments will make your life even more difficult, create new problems, and sell you solutions in order to make more money and boom the economy. The bottom line is, it is completely impossible for a common man to live a happy, healthy, and secure life as long as we are living in a world operated by evil systems which are created and controlled by greedy and power-driven individuals. The current systems through which our world is being operated are put together by the elite class of people who don't really care about your well-being. They don't care if you are happy or not. They only want to control you and live off of you like parasites. Take Queen Elizabeth for example. Do you think she wakes up one day and asks herself the following question?
Why is it that I am able to live a fully opulent and luxurious life, while there are literally billions of people out there, facing a great deal of difficulties every single day, due to lack of money? Why aren't they able to live the same kind of lifestyle like I do? There is an extreme level of inequality going on in this world. I have to do something about this, and help change it.
Sorry, she would never think this way. In fact, it is these kind of people who have put such systems in place, systems that are designed to benefit, support, and serve only one class of people, and basically screw the rest. The money system, for example, is designed to benefit, support, and serve only the wealthy class of people, and basically enslave the lives of the middle and the poor class of people. This ruling elite class of people live off of you. They live off of your labor, your illness, your pain, and your hardships. They live off of you like parasites, and they thrive on it. They love to see our families and children living a miserable life. Just go out and look at people around you. Look at your own family members, friends, and relatives. Notice their faces revealing how tired, depressed, and miserable they are. There is absolutely no light in their face. People are not happy. People don't have sound and vibrant health. People are hooked onto pharmaceutical drugs for the rest of their lives. People are being suppressed and oppressed. People are being subjected to forced labor. People are working jobs they hate and are in constant fear of survival. And that's exactly how the majority of people in our world are living their life right now, and you might be one of them, and you could relate to what we are saying here as well. We should not allow the governments to say, hey, only the richest people get to live the most luxurious, secure, comfortable, and exciting lives, and the rest of the population, who are not rich, must live an unhappy, fearful, and miserable life. To say that only those people who have massive amounts of money deserve to live the most phenomenal lives, and those who don't have money must live a miserable life is as stupid as saying, only those with muscular bodies deserve to live the most remarkable life, and the rest who do not have muscular bodies must live a miserable life. The bottom line is this: we all breathe the same air, and we are all one human family under the sun. Therefore, every single one of us truly deserves to experience absolute freedom and deserves to live the most magnificent life. No money, nor anything for that matter, should ever be a factor that determines the level of freedom, security, comfort, or the quality of life an individual gets to experience in his life. Get this point straight: as long as this monetary system doesn't change, and as long as your freedom, happiness, security, and comfort is determined by how much money you have, it doesn't matter who the president or prime minister is, you are going to continue to struggle and suffer each and every day of your life just to make ends meet. Our children, our families, and communities will continue to live out of fear of survival for the rest of their lives. Period. What has to be changed is the system itself. We need a brand new legal system with laws that are designed to serve the people and put human beings first, above any money, any class of people, or any corporations. There should be a new kind of system put into place, where a nation's growth and development is not determined by how much money it is making, but rather by how blissfully happy, healthy, and vibrant its people are. A nation doesn't mean money, a nation means people. Therefore, the growth of a nation must be determined by how blissfully happy, peaceful, healthy, and secure its people are, and not by how much money it is making. In this new system, people's happiness and well-being will be of the utmost priority above everything else to the governing bodies. In this new system, everything that contributes to people's freedom, happiness, health, growth, and development will be kept available to every single individual for absolutely free. Things such as 100% organic food, comfortable housing, 100% pure drinking water, all means of transportation, natural cures, all medical treatments, cutting-edge education for our children. All of these things, and everything that contributes to people's freedom, happiness, health, growth, and development, will be provided to every single individual living on this planet for absolutely free. This way, people, instead of chasing money, as if it is the most meaningful pursuit, and giving up their family and happiness in the process of earning a living, people can actually live a peaceful life, without any sort of stress, worries, struggles, fear, and depression. Imagine a world where there is no such thing called money. Imagine a world where you don't need to have money at all to live the most magnificent life possible. Imagine a world where you don't have to work nor pay for anything for mere survival. Imagine a world where each family is given a decent house to live freely, peacefully and comfortably, without having to worry about paying rent every single month. Imagine a world where having a job is a choice, something that is optional, not mandatory, and you have the freedom to follow your passion and dreams, instead of selling your soul and doing the job you hate out of financial pressure and fear of survival. Imagine a world where you have absolute freedom and time to follow your passion and dreams, a world where you don't have to give up your dreams in order to make a living. Imagine a world where you can travel anywhere you want on this planet, live anywhere you choose, be able to see all the beauty and wonders of our amazing planet, without needing to pay a single penny for accommodation, food, utilities, transportation, etc. Imagine a world where you can partake in amazing and adventurous recreational activities for absolutely free. Activities that are breathtaking and nourishing to the soul. Imagine a world where people want to become somebody, such as a doctor, or an engineer, or a chef, or any occupation for that matter, because they absolutely love it, and because it is their passion. And they want to use their passion to serve others and contribute toward the betterment of our society. And not because they think they can make a good amount of money at the expense of the people they are going to be serving. In this way, no person will ever have to worry about being ripped off or cheated by any other person anymore. Imagine a world where you don't have to pay a single penny for medical treatments. Doesn't matter how severe the medical condition is, you'll be treated in top-notch hospitals and in natural health centers located anywhere in the world for absolutely free. Imagine a world where all of our children receive cutting-edge education in top-notch schools and colleges for absolutely free. Imagine a world where everybody is treated as equals. No status nor wealth classification of any sort, a world where a janitor and a member of a royal family are treated as equals, a world where everybody is treated like royals, with the utmost respect, dignity, love, and affection. Imagine a world where all of its people are living in harmony, unity, love, peace, overflowing joy and happiness. Wherever you go, you see faces all around you radiating utmost joy, happiness, contentment, and bliss. All of this feels like real freedom, doesn't it? The truth is, freedom is the basis of all life. And in a world where everything is free, our lives would be, by definition, free. Our lives would be free on all levels. We would all get to experience a level of freedom we have never imagined before. When everything is free, the gap between the rich and the poor would immediately vanish. There would be no such thing as haves and have-nots anymore. The immediate benefits that a world without money would bring are simply astonishing, as all the ugly aspects of life would miraculously disappear. The moment we remove money from our lives and from the system, everything changes for the better, almost immediately. There will no longer be any more crime, no hunger, no homelessness, no greed, no corruption, no extortion, no hoarding, no accounts, no debts, no control, and no obstacles to any kind of progress. Most importantly, there will no longer be any more wars, which take place in the name of money, power, and control. Once we remove money from our lives and from the system, we will all finally get to experience a level of freedom, abundance, and happiness we never knew existed before. This is not utopia but the natural order of things. And in a flash, the family of human beings will join everything else in creation that coexists without money. Think about this. Life, in and of itself, is basically free. We are not paying anything for the sun to provide us with sunlight. We are not paying anything for the soil to grow the food we eat. We are not paying anything for the oxygen we breathe. We are not paying anything for the trees to turn carbon dioxide into oxygen. Are we? Life is full of abundance and is self-sustainable. Life has everything to meet the needs of every single person freely. Life is a gift given to all of us by the divine creator, and it is supposed to be free for all living breathing beings on this planet. God created life to be that way. But nothing is free in this world right now, because a small group of greedy and power-driven elite families forced a system upon us, which requires us to literally pay for everything. And in a world where things are not free, our lives would be, by definition, enslaved, suppressed, and controlled. Our lives would be restricted on all levels. And that's the reality for more than 80% of our world's population. But that's not how God intends for us to live our life. Absolutely unrestricted freedom, happiness, health, growth and development are our birthrights, given to all of us by God. They are God's gifts to us. And we should not let any governments, corporations, politicians, nor any systems for that matter, steal away the rights we have been given by God at birth. We shouldn't allow them to take our very God-given fundamental rights away from us, and conduct businesses, and profit out of it. So how do we change this system? How do we go about creating a new free world? The solution is profoundly simple. But before we reveal that to you, we want you to understand one thing very clearly. And that is, we should not expect, nor depend on our presidents, prime ministers, or any political leaders, to help change the system and create a new free world. That is because they simply do not care about your freedom and your well-being whatsoever. Have you ever wondered why no single political leader has ever talked about what we are talking about here? The truth is, they don't care about you, they never did. They don't walk among you, they don't live among you, and they don't experience the same type of challenges you experience every day due to lack of money. The elite who control the governments of the world and our politicians will not bring about this change. And as a matter of fact, believe it or not, they are totally against it. They don't want you to be free. They don't want you to be happy. They don't care about the well-being of our children and our families. Had they truly cared about our freedom and our well-being, they would be the ones to talk about what we are talking about here. They would be the ones to take action on it. Had they truly cared about our freedom and our well-being, we would already be living in a magnificent world, where all beings are utterly happy, healthy and free. If you still believe that the authorities are here to help us, think about this. On a planet with over 7 billion people, more than half of us live below the breadline, surviving from day to day. According to the Guardian newspaper, the United Nations announced that 1/3 of the world's food goes to waste every year. Over 1.3 billion tons of food is thrown out every single year, not because there is no one to eat it, but because people do not have money to buy food. And so, thousands of people die of starvation every day, and billions more go hungry due to lack of money, or any other means to care for themselves. If ever there was an example of deep division between the haves and the have-nots, this is it. If we think that the authorities are going to do something about it, we are grossly mistaken. It is the authorities who are squarely behind this manipulation of people's lives. This is where it starts to get complicated for the average person, who believes that the government is doing what it can to help us. Nothing could be further from the truth. The government is not your friend. Now it's time to address the elephant in the room. So how do we change this system and go about creating a new free world? What's the solution? The first step is awareness. The first and foremost thing we have to do, in order to create a new free world, is to get more and more people thinking and talking about it. We cannot create something when we don't know what we want to create. In the same way, we can't create a magnificent free world for ourselves when people don't know that this kind of reality is something that is actually possible, and that we can indeed collectively create it. Most people can't even conceive the idea of a free world, a world in which they don't need money whatsoever to live the freest and the most magnificent life possible. This thought doesn't even enter their minds. We are pretty sure that even you have never thought about it in this way either, until you have come across this video. Many people, having experienced constant financial struggles ever since they were born, have sadly come to a conclusion that maybe life is supposed to be lived in fear, pain, and misery. People in our world have completely submitted and surrendered themselves to the current evil systems without giving it much thought. Those who control the world and the governments have brainwashed people enough to make them believe that the money system is a part of life and that we are born into it. They brainwashed people to believe that this is just how life works and that we have to accept it and somehow manage to live within it. They have programmed people enough to not question the monetary system but rather somehow struggle to survive within it. But we are here to tell you that this monetary system is merely a man-made system, and it can be easily changed and replaced with new systems that are beneficial and favorable to all of humanity. We can easily create brand new systems that are designed to benefit and serve not just the royal families and the wealthy class of people, but every single individual living on this planet. The change of the money system leads to the change of every other corrupted system that has been abusive and not at all helpful to humankind. Systems such as the healthcare system, the education system, the judiciary system, the law enforcement system, and so forth. We can completely change the way this world is being operated. We can create a new free world where our families and children will feel 100% safe and protected at all times. We can create a world where all of its people can experience absolute unrestricted freedom, overflowing abundance, happiness, unity, perfect health, and true human evolution. If we are to have any future, the youth need to be the main authors of the new systems that will guide us into a future of abundance in all areas of human endeavor. Because as it stands now, there is nothing but absolute slavery that awaits our children. This is why our first priority is to immediately awaken as many people as possible to the idea of a free world, a world in which not only every single individual is taken care of, but also every single individual is fully cared for. And again, we should not expect our governments and our political leaders to bring about this change. Martin Luther King said it best. He said,
"Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed."
The civil rights movement, for example, a movement to end racial segregation, was started and made possible by the people, not by the governments. The abolitionist movement, a movement to end slavery, was started and made possible by the people, not by the governments. Be it any movement, they were all started and made possible by the people, the oppressed, and not by the governments, the oppressor. All of these movements would have never happened top-down. In every successful movement that took place in history, it took hundreds of thousands of people in order to change the direction of our entire civilization. The same has to happen here. Since we are the ones who are being severely affected and oppressed by these vicious systems, it is the duty of every single one of us to come together in harmony and start a peaceful non-violent movement. And that's exactly what we did. We have started a movement called the Free World Movement. The Free World Movement is a global movement. Imagine tens of millions of people in every single country coming together and participating in the Free World Movement. Imagine hundreds of millions of people from all across the world striving toward creating a magnificent free world. That's when the magic happens. That's when the money-driven governments and the greed and power-driven politicians and the royal families will be left with no other option than to completely step down and watch us create a remarkable new free world for ourselves. Together, we can completely change the whole course of this planet. Martin Luther King also said,
"Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly, affects all, indirectly."
Therefore, dear brothers and sisters, it is time that we stand up and become very vocal about things that matter. It is time that we roll up our sleeves and take some action. So where do we begin this movement? As we mentioned before, our first goal is to build awareness on a massive scale. And the good news is, it is very easy for us to build awareness and get hundreds of millions of people together now than it ever was before, because people are completely fed up with living a stressful, depressed, and miserable life. They've had enough. And they are now ready for real change. But there is only one challenge we are facing. And that is, we at the Free World Movement Organization cannot help bring massive awareness without your support. We need your support in order to achieve this first goal. Please listen carefully from here. In order to achieve our first goal of building massive awareness, we would like for everyone who is watching this video to be a part of this movement and help promote it. There are only 3 simple steps that you need to follow in order to join this movement and help promote it. We encourage you to pause this video for a second, grab a notebook, and write down these 3 steps. Here are those 3 steps. Step 1. Share this video with at least 5 friends. This video you are watching right now will be a great start for people to learn about this cause and become aware of the Free World Movement. The more friends you share this video with, the better. Step 2. Write a post on your Facebook news feed. If you are a Facebook user, please write a post on your Facebook news feed. You can use the exact text shown on the screen. Step 3. This is the most important step. Go to the URL you see on the screen and visit our website. Once you open up our website, click on Be a Part button in order to join and extend your support for this movement. When every single person watching this video sincerely follows these 3 simple steps, within a very short period of time, we can gather millions and millions of people together and collectively overthrow the money-driven governments, abolish the monarchy, and go about creating an impeccable and utterly exquisite free world. This is going to be the most sensational movement the world has ever witnessed. Together we can move mountains. Together we can truly change the whole course of our amazing planet. Together we can create a remarkable free world where our children, our families, and our communities no longer need to struggle for mere survival. Together we can create a world where there is no fear, no struggle, no suffering, and no discomfort of any sort. Together we can create a magnificent world where there is only place for love, happiness, joy, unity, peace, and freedom. So go ahead and follow these 3 simple steps. Once you follow these 3 simple steps and join our movement, you will be provided with more information about the free world. You will be provided with information about how the free world is going to be, and what it's going to look like. You will be given information about the kind of systems and laws that will be put into place. You will be given information about the kind of major upgrades that will be made to all of the existing systems, laws, and industries. Now, dear brothers and sisters, before we end this video, we want to leave you with a note. We are living in very exciting times, and we all have an extremely bright future ahead of us. There is literally so much to look forward to. We can't wait to co-create heaven on earth with you, and experience the wonders and the magic of life together. And together we'll cry happy tears. We hope you follow these 3 simple steps. We hope you join and be a part of this movement. We love to thank you for taking time to watch this documentary. We love you, and may the truth set you free.